years or 100 years from now, if the Lord doesn't come back, they would say, hey, those Lefebvres, not trying to make a name for myself, but those Lefebvres were mighty men used of God because they got all around God and let God bless them. That's what Obed-Edom did, and God awarded him for his faithfulness. What an awesome thing. Here's how the whole thing ended. That man came back on Tuesday night to hear me preach again. He did say to me, Miss Amy, you're a better preacher than your dad. I said, shh, he can hear you. He did say that to me. I said, shut up, that is so untrue. No, no, no. And he said, no. He goes, I think your dad will be proud of you. On Tuesday night he came to the service. I didn't know this, but he had talked with Dr. Hodge. 5 years ago, they diagnosed him with throat cancer, said he was going to die. God healed him. That night, Dr. Hodge said, we got a special. And Dennis got in the pulpit. He said, I'm going to sing. He said, God healed me of throat cancer. I said, man, I didn't know that he could sing. Some of you probably saw it online. You know what you're thinking? He can't. But I want to tell you that he can. Because here's what he said. He said, I've sang this song a lot of times in church. And he said, I just want you to know, Brother Lefebvre, that every time I sing this song, I think about your dad. And then he didn't so much as sing. He just sort of said and tried to sing his way through, I dreamed I went to heaven and you were there with me. We walked upon the streets of gold and by the crystal sea. We heard the angels singing, then someone called your name. And you turned and saw this young man, and he was smiling as he came. And he said, friend, you may not know me now. And then he said, but wait, you used to teach my Sunday school when I was only 8. And every week you would say a prayer before the class would start, and one day when you said that prayer, I asked Jesus in my heart, thank you for giving to the Lord. I am a life that was changed. Thank you for giving to the Lord. I'm so glad you gave. Then another man stood before you and said, remember the time the missionary came to your church and his pictures made you cry? You didn't have much money, but you gave it anyway, and Jesus took the gift you gave, and that's why I'm here to say, thank you for giving to the Lord. I'm a life that was changed. And one by one they came, far as the eye could see. Each life somehow touched by your generosity. Little things that you had done and sacrifices made, unnoticed on the earth and heaven now proclaimed. And I know that up in heaven you're not supposed to cry, but I am almost sure that there were tears in your eyes. And Jesus took your hand and you stood before the Lord and he said, my child, look around, great is your reward. Thank you for giving to the Lord. And he finished the whole thing out and he said, Brother Lefebvre, I just imagined. That's probably the scene in heaven. Young people, you have a goodly heritage. Kids, teenagers, you have a goodly heritage. Enough. Stop playing games. Look at the preacher. It's time to get serious. If somebody cared enough to win your mother to the Lord, somebody cared enough to win your father to the Lord so that they didn't bust hell wide open. And because of that, you're not going to bust hell wide open. And someday that may be you, where somebody comes along. For the cast, and maybe someday your kid is preaching in a meeting somewhere or is out somewhere, and they say, I remember Brother Caston when he came by when I was a teenager. He told me about Jesus. I remember coming to that church. Now I'm grown and I'm in church, man. We have a goodly heritage, brother. I didn't say life was perfect, and I didn't say all this was perfect, but I tell you, you want to know why the preacher's like he is? Because I've got a goodly heritage, and you ain't stinking taking it from me, neither is anybody else. But I love Jesus tonight. I'm going to stand for Jesus, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing no matter who likes it or who doesn't like it, because I got a goodly heritage, because somebody cared about my daddy, and somebody cared about me, and I care about my kids, and I care about your kids. The lines are falling unto us. Maybe our kids would be serious if we'd get serious. Father, we love you. Lord, I thank you for the opportunity that I had to hear the gospel.